Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this very momentous occasion in our calendar at the CSIR. This conference, which we hold every second year, is really one of our red letter days in our activities. We are very, very excited, colleagues, but before I go ahead, let me recognize the representatives from government, recognize the members of the board that are with us this morning, the executive of this organization led by the CEO, Dr. Jamin, the members of staff, all our stakeholders from all sectors, from industry, from academia, and all other sectors. Invited guests, good morning again. We gather here today in one of the most difficult times in human history, faced with the pandemic descended upon us around March in the form of COVID-19. The tremors of what hit us at that moment are still with us today. And today, none of us can really claim to be an adult. Today, we are all children, all in wonder and awe, trying to make sense of what is unfolding before our eyes. And we hope that we'll learn as much as possible so that when we reach adulthood, we'll have what it takes to survive. So we are all learning around this time. But I must say that in crafting my message, I would like you to give me an opportunity to dwell on just 3 points. I want to give character to our past and also describe briefly where we are at this juncture, where we see ourselves right now, and also talk about where we see ourselves going forward, how the future for us looks like. And I'll by all means try to be as efficient as I can in that regard and not put too much debit in your time. Putting character in our past, we have to first acknowledge those on whose shoulders we stand, those who created an organization that we have inherited, an organization that has earned its rightful place in the world as a leader in innovation. We celebrate 75 years this year, as you know, and in these 75 years, there's a lot for us to show. In fact, the time that I have can never be sufficient to start enumerating our achievements over the years. But there are things that we have to talk about. Some of the innovations that have changed human life for a long time to come. And even in that list, I cannot be comprehensive, but I want to single a few out. You'd recall that in the 60s, CSIR developed the heavy vehicle simulator, which is really an instrument in the form of a vehicle that assists the civil engineers and the road construction engineers to actually determine the best way to construct the road by simulating its behavior over a 20-year period, this done within 3 months. The simulation takes place within 3 months. It is one of the most outstanding developments within the CSIR. I always say that next time you go through a major road construction, take a look around there. You most probably will find this heavy vehicle. It is there. It is virtually irreplaceable in that space. That was in the 1960s. In the 80s, we came up with the lithium-ion spinels. In fact, we played a very, very, very key role in the development of the lithium-ion battery. So that lithium-ion battery, as you know, currently powers your cell phones. I mean, if you've got a cell phone now, a smartphone as we call them now, most likely the battery there is based on the lithium technology. Our computers are powered by this technology. The future of vehicles, which we call the electric vehicles, we know will be powered by this technology. It is here with us for a long time to come, and it has changed our lives for the better. We did not end there, colleagues. We've come up with a number of inventions, and I must say that in the 50s, when it all started, we came up with the accelerometer. That's another invention that we developed. in the 50s, which is really a distance measuring device which is based on the microwave frequency radio technology. It's indispensable in the land surveying space. They rely on this to this day, and I think that it's gonna be there for many years to come. So we are building on a very solid foundation that has been laid by those who came before us, and we have no opportunity to deviate from that. We have to then move on and keep that legacy going forward. We find ourselves in a space now where today this organization proved beyond reasonable doubt that it is relevant in our ecosystem of innovation. It's an organization that would be difficult to do without if we really want to advance in terms of innovation, in terms of technology as a country. When COVID-19 descended upon us earlier this year, this organization became the first port of call for government. We were approached to set up the National COVID Information Center, which is still in existence today within our campus. And this center really was aimed at ensuring that the government optimally allocates resources to deal with the spread of this disease. It relied heavily on our modeling expertise, which we've built over the years, because that required a geospatial model to be built to characterize the spread of this disease, thereby allowing us to determine where the depth was in terms of the spread and where the government could then unleash its resources to deal with the spread. You would have heard not long ago, ladies and gentlemen, of our contribution to the ventilator project, where we came up with new ventilators, CSIR in collaboration with our partners in industry in the private sector. We came up with the ventilator technology, and these ventilators are currently being manufactured and distributed again to help in the mitigation of this of the spread of this virus that we are faced with today. So we are relevant, and we've proven our relevance more than ever. But what I want to cite here is we would not be able to live up to these expectations without a history of readiness. We had to be ready for us to step up to the plate within a very short space of time, which we did, I strongly believe, with utmost distinction. We couldn't have delivered without the capabilities that this organization has in both the resources that we have, the human capital that we have, but also the infrastructure that we have in the organization. We have been very lucky as an organization to attract some of the best talent in the country and beyond. And I always say that whilst our core is science, engineering, and technology, we should not forget that there are also the support structures that make that possible. I've taken the liberty over the years to visit some of these different disciplines or different tiers within the organization, where I've seen people in administration, be it finance or human resources, playing their part in a very meaningful way to make sure that the science, engineering, and the technology base functions properly. We have to give credit to those as well. That is where we are. And with that, I have no doubt in my mind that the future is promising for us. We are ready for the future because we have that history of readiness. We see our future, a future made up of industries that would have to be highly competitive, financially and otherwise, industries that would have to operate very efficiently, industries that would have to be environmentally aware. That's the future. And we believe that we've got what it takes as an organization to deliver. I believe that we'll be even more relevant going forward than we have ever been as an organization. But we have a responsibility to seize the moment. Going forward, we've identified, you'll see in our values, they spell EPIC. E being excellence, that we've always taken to the heart of our activities on a daily basis. P being the people because we are becoming a people-centered organization. I've just said now that resource for us is the ultimate resource. I being integrity, and C being collaboration. We will not achieve whatever we want to without the C in our values. I'm not saying the others are not important. They are also important. But we've always known that the C part is one that we did not focus on in earnest. Going forward, we are going to put forth as one of our ultimate priorities collaboration with relevant partners, because we know the future cannot be on our side if we do not collaborate with as many partners as possible. And as I say, relevant partners, because we have to rely on the complementarity of our skills base within and outside the organization. We see ourselves really increasing our global footprint, because in the past we've been very localized, although our technologies really have had the global impact, but it has not been in earnest, where we make a deliberate effort to make sure that we reach out to the world. We see ourselves playing that role in a meaningful way. That's the future. And again, I want to say, colleagues, but specifically to the CSIR staff, the executive, the staff as a whole, in all the tiers of the organization, like I said, that let's continue to be dreamers. Let's not stop dreaming. In fact, every time I talk about dreaming, I am reminded of the 7 Pillars of Wisdom by T.E. Lawrence, where he says, all men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their minds wake up only to find that it was all vanity. But dreamers of the day are very dangerous men, for they may act their dreams with their open eyes to make it a reality. Let us all be dreamers, but let us be dreamers of the day. We've always been, and let us not stop doing so going forward. With those words, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say again, thank you for being here, and I hope that there's a lot we are going to learn from you. There's a lot you are going to learn from us, and then this will be a space for collaboration going forward. Thank you again, and welcome to the CSIR. Thank you.